Religions have always inspired humanity, but they have also sparked some of the fiercest wars in history. From the Crusades that tore East and West apart, to the Reconquista in Spain and the bloody conflict between Catholics and Protestants. Journeys of faith and blood that changed the map of the world forever. Chapter 1. The Crusades, Wars in the Name of Heaven, the Beginning. The call of Pope Urban II, 1095 AD. In 1095, Pope Urban II delivered a sermon that ignited the flames of war, calling on the Christians of Europe to liberate Jerusalem from the Muslims, promising them forgiveness of sins. Thus began the First Crusades, armies of paupers and princes heading east toward the Holy Land. The First Crusade, 1096 to 1099 AD, the fall of Jerusalem through the blood of children and knights after horrific massacres in Antioch and Tripoli. The Crusaders arrived in Jerusalem in 1099. They entered like a hurricane, slaughtering thousands of Muslims and Jews, so much so that it was said that blood ran through the streets. They established the Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem. The Islamic reaction. The rise of heroes the Islamic world did not remain silent. Nur ad-Din Zengi emerged. Then came the legendary hero Saladin, who united the Muslims and liberated Jerusalem at the Battle of Hattin in 1187, returning the holy city to the embrace of Islam. Failed campaigns and the propaganda war, the Children's Crusade of 1212 ended in disaster. The Fourth Crusade, which deviated to sack Christian Constantinople. Even the Mongols entered the fray. These wars were a mixture of religion, politics, and colonial ambitions. Chapter 2. The Reconquista. 800 years of conflict in Spain, the fall of Al-Andalus, and the beginning of resistance in 711 AD. The Muslims conquered Spain and ruled for centuries of gold. But the Christian kingdoms in the north began the Reconquista to expel the Muslims. Fateful battles. From the Barbat Plain to the fall of Granada, the Battle of Tours in 732 halted the Muslim advance into Europe. Then Toledo fell in 1085, and the Muslims were defeated at the Battle of Al-Kab in 1212. Until Granada, their last stronghold, fell in 1492, and the era of Al-Andalus ended. The Inquisition. The dark side of victory after the fall. The Spanish Inquisition began to torture and expel Muslims and Jews. They were forced to convert to Christianity or die. It was a tragic end to one of the greatest civilizations. Chapter 3. Religious Wars in Europe. Catholics versus Protestants, the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther ignites the revolution. In 1517, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to a church door, attacking ecclesiastical corruption and calling for individual faith. His ideas spread like wildfire, and Europe was divided between Catholics loyal to the Pope and Protestants who rejected his authority. The 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, the Great Massacre, the bloodiest religious war. A third of Germany's population was killed. The conflict shifted from religious to political between the nations of Europe and ended with the Peace of Westphalia, which established the principle of tolerance of different sections.